Hey everyone, it's Ish Gaming here bringing you a battle royale of epic proportions. Well, maybe not, more like reasonably priced proportions? Look, we're talking budget GPUs today, and I know for some of you budget is a dirty word. But hold on, you might be surprised by what these cards can do without decimating your bank account. Today we're pitting the latest and greatest, and by that I mean most affordable, graphics cards against each other in a no-holds-barred cage match of frame rates and features. We're talking RX 7600 XT, RTX 3060, even some older contenders like the GTX 1080 Ti and RTX 2060, you know, for science. And also because you guys keep asking about these cards, so buckle up, grab your favorite beverage, and get ready for benchmarks, breakdowns, and maybe a few unexpected twists. We'll help you figure out which one of these bad boys deserves a spot in your gaming rig. Let's do this! Alright, first up we've got AMD's contender, the RX 7600 XT. This little guy is the newest kid on the block, rocking the latest RDNA 3 architecture. Now, on paper, this thing packs a punch for its price point. We're talking 8GB of GDDR6 memory, a decent clock speed, and all those fancy AMD features like Fidelity FX. In our testing, the 7600 XT really held its own at 1080p gaming. AAA titles were smooth, frame rates were consistently above 60 frames per second, even on high settings, and esports titles, forget about it, this thing was a monster. Now, 1440p is where things get a little interesting. It can handle it, but you might have to dial back some settings depending on the game. Overall, the RX 7600 XT is a solid contender for gamers on a budget, especially if you're primarily playing at 1080p. It delivers impressive performance for the price, but keep in mind, it's not going to be a 4K powerhouse. But hey, what did you expect for a card in this price range? Next up we've got the Green Team's champion, the RTX 3060. This card has been a fan favorite for a while now, and for good reason. It's packing NVIDIA's Ampere architecture, 12GB of GDDR6 memory, which let me tell you is pretty generous at this price point. And of course it's got those magical RTX features like ray tracing and DLSS. Performance-wise, the RTX 3060 trades blows with the RX 7600 XT. It's a bit of a mixed bag depending on the game, but generally you can expect similar performance. The 3060 might have a slight edge in some titles thanks to DLSS, which can really boost those frame rates. But we'll talk more about that later. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that the RTX 3060 is starting to show its age a little bit. It's still a capable card, but it's not going to be as future-proof as some of the newer options out there. But hey, if you can find it at a good price, it's still a solid choice. Chapter 3. Old Dog Still Bites. GTX 1080 Ti. Okay, now for a blast from the past, the GTX 1080 Ti. This card is a legend, a true titan of its time. And yes, I'm aware I'm laying it on a bit thick, but this card was a beast when it came out. And you know what? It still holds up surprisingly well today. Now obviously it's not going to be winning any beauty contests against these newer cards. It's power hungry, it's got a blower style cooler, and it lacks all the fancy new features like ray tracing and DLSS. But what it does have is raw power. We're talking 11GB of GDDR5X memory, and a beefy GPU that can still pump out some impressive frame rates, even in modern games. If you can find one used at a good price and you're not too concerned about having the latest and greatest, the 1080 Ti can be a steal. Just be prepared to pay a bit more for your electricity bill. Chapter 4. Middle Child Magic. RTX 2060. Let's talk about the RTX 2060. The middle child of the RTX 2000 series. This card kind of got lost in the shuffle when it came out, stuck between the budget-friendly 16 series and the powerhouse 2070 and above. But you know what? Sometimes those middle children turn out alright. The RTX 2060 is still rocking the Turing architecture, which, while not as fancy as Ampere, is still no slouch. It's got 6GB of GDDR6 memory, and it can handle ray tracing, although it might make your frame rate cry a little bit. Performance-wise, it's a step down from the 3060 and the 7600 XT, but it's still a capable card for 1080p gaming. It's a good option if you're looking for a balance of price and performance, and you don't need the absolute latest and greatest. Chapter 5. 7600. Budget king or budget bust? Last but not least, we have the Radeon RX 7600, the little brother of the 7600 XT. Now this card is all about value. It's the most affordable card in our roundup today, and it still manages to pack a punch. We're talking RDNA 3 architecture, 8GB of GDDR6 memory, and performance that's surprisingly close to the 7600 XT, especially at 1080p. Now you will have to make some sacrifices to hit that lower price point. The cooler isn't as robust, and you might not get quite as much overclocking headroom. But hey, if you're on a tight budget and you're looking for the most bang for your buck, the RX 7600 is definitely worth considering. It's a great example of how far budget GPUs have come in recent years. Outrow the Budget GPU Showdown concludes. So there you have it folks, a showdown of some of the best budget GPUs on the market. As you can see, there's no clear winner, it really depends on your needs and your budget. But what's clear is that you don't have to spend a fortune to get a decent gaming experience these days. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more tech reviews and updates, and let us know in the comments down below which one of these cards you'd pick and why. We love hearing from you guys. Oh, and one more thing, in our next video we'll be diving deep into the world of NVIDIA DLSS and how it can enhance your gaming experience, even on a budget. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss it. Until next time.